Okay, so hey everyone, today I'm gonna show you how I make a workflow in ComfyUI to make animation with a video-to-video process. But this time we're gonna use Stable Diffusion XL and we're gonna do morph between still images that we're gonna have as input. So we're gonna make the animation based on your input and add the style of different image across the video, so you have some morph and some animation between it. So yeah, that's the idea. If you don't have ComfyUI, install it because you're gonna need it. And this workflow, because it's made with SDXL, gonna take a lot of power computing. So maybe you're gonna need a cloud GPU or a RTX 4090 if you have this. It's the best for this kind of things. And I'm gonna use some custom node from this workflow that you're gonna maybe need. So make sure to install it. And I'm gonna give the link of all the model and custom node that I'm gonna use. So just check, and also the full workflow for those who don't want to just follow along all the workflow. So let's go start. So the base idea when we want to make a video process, even for image, is to load everything you need. So I can just load a lot of things that I'm gonna need with this type of node. So this one is a node from the efficiency node pack, and it's gonna allow me to just gain some time and allow us to have less node everywhere. So here we have load the checkpoint that we're gonna use. So it's a turbo checkpoint, because otherwise we're not gonna be able to render long video, because XL model take a lot of compute power. So using a turbo model allow us to reduce a lot the step of the diffusion steps. So it's really cool because you can have like 8 steps, and without a turbo model you will need like 20 or 30 steps. So it's a huge progress. With the input, we're also gonna need to load a video. So for this one, I'm gonna use just a close-up of me because it's easy to work with face, and I like that. We're gonna need to set some size that we're gonna use for the video. Because we work with an XL model, you need to add high resolution, like 1024 or max this, but I usually stick with this kind of resolution. And I also work with low frame rate, because the model is trained on a low frame range. So we have to adjust, and I have better result with my force rate with a low number. We're gonna set a low frame cap so we can make tests without just waiting for hours. And now that we add the model and the video, we're gonna need to add some useful tool. We're gonna add animate diff. We're gonna give some context option and some sample settings. We're gonna adjust the context length based on the model that we use. So because we use HotShotXL as model, we need to add 8 frames and to adapt the beta schedule accordingly with that. I'm gonna connect this here. And the other part that we're gonna need, that's gonna allow us to have like the basic idea of this workflow, is the IP adapter, and we're gonna need 2 of them because we're gonna do morph between different style of image. So we need to kind of alternate the image. So this is why we use 2 IP adapters instead of 1. And for that, we're also gonna need to set some weight with the IP adapter. The weight basically is taking some image as input and gonna give a weight to schedule the mask to basically have morph between them. And for the weight, we're gonna choose the method alternate batch, because it's gonna allow us to go from one image to the other, one image to the other, basically alternate between the image. So it's really important to set that. We're gonna load some image. like that. We're gonna learn 2 of them. We're gonna make an image batch. And you can see the node of the custom node that I'm using. Like for this one, the impact pack. You can do it without, but I just like the way this one will work because it resizes automatically like this. And because we use the IP adapter batch normal, we're gonna have to add the clip vision to basically condition the image to a format that the IP adapter like. We're gonna reduce the size and make it in a square format. So like that, increase a little the sharpening. And we're gonna choose some image. So I have some. This is just image from Pinterest. Sorry, I don't know the name of the artist. So if you know them, just tell him in the comments. It will be really great for them. We're gonna take this one and this type of image. They are not my image, so this is just for test and demonstration purpose. Use your own image if you can, or generate them yourself with AI. So these 2 pictures that I like, and they're gonna be the style of the animation. So we're gonna start with that, and we're gonna have to put the frame here. So the frame basically it's the number of frame an image gonna be repeated. So because we have 20 images input, we're gonna need to put this to 10 so we can have a smooth morph between the two and have like 20 divided by 2, so 2 image. So we can do it like that. I'm gonna show you a better way to do it after, but for the moment I want to do the basic. So we're gonna connect to that, and we're gonna need some controlnet because we want to have some consistency based on the input. So I'm gonna load some like that. Gonna add a preprocessor to segment the input video to get the data that I want. Like that. I'm gonna get a linear. And we're gonna use the controlnet of Xinzir. I'm gonna paste the link on the description. But basically, Xinzir, I don't know if it's pronounced like that, but make a lot of great controlnet for XL model. So it helps a lot, and I recommend you to check his Hugging Face page. We're gonna increase the resolution because we work with iOS inputs. And we're gonna add some other controlnet to make sure to have a great consistency. I recommend you to not add more than 3 controlnet, and I'm gonna go with 2 because I have my setup of recording running. So because of that, I can't really have my PC at my best performance. So I'm gonna reduce the weight of the controlnet so I can just run my PC more easy. So I'm gonna disable this one. You can disable not just by clicking Control B, like that, if you don't know. I'm gonna connect all these controlnet together, so we have the information of it, like that. I'm gonna connect the conditioning here. Connect the 2 other one. We're gonna add the K-sampler so we can diffuse our video, the input, and all the technology. It's like the final node to combine all together. Gonna connect the prompt. As you can see, we don't really have a prompt box because we have the prompt on the efficient loader node. So it's really easy because you have everything on the same place. The model, the conditioning, you can have also the latent, but I don't use it because I'm gonna encode the video. But yeah, you can really have everything you want here. And you have a lot of easy node like that in ComfyUI made by a really great developer. So really great to work with that. Okay, so we're gonna encode the video. So our video I'm gonna give some information on the latent space about like the shape and how the video is set up. We use this workflow when we do video to video because it works better, and in this case we have all the information that we need. So it's really great. For the class sampler, we're gonna need to adjust some parameter, and of course we're gonna also need to adjust some parameter in other things like controlnet, IP adapter. So we're gonna start with the class sampler. So for the class sampler, you need to adjust the parameter based on the parameter of the model, like the default settings. For example, if I open a new tab and I go to Vid2Vid, it's a website to find model of AI, and I search for my model that I use. So it is Dream Shaper, and I go to Dream Shaper XL. Yeah, this one is a turbo. You can see there are some settings. There's a prompt, the negative prompt, and you can see here the guidance, the steps, and the sampler. Make sure to choose the right sampler and the right guidance, otherwise you may be gonna have not great result. So the guidance is gonna be the CFG, so 2 is great. Steps, we have 8 like the example, but we can go like 6 or 7 if you want to go fast. And for the sampler, we have to put the DPM, PPSDE as a Keras. I like to make my seed fixed so I can iterate over and over without relaunching all the nodes. I'm gonna have a VAD code. Yeah, and I'm gonna have a reroute for this one. Like that. I'm gonna combine video. Like that. I'm gonna get the frame rate on the input. Get it as MP4. Now we have to adjust the strength of the control net because for the moment they are at the maximum and we don't want that. Otherwise we're just not gonna have the style diffused correctly because they're just not gonna have liberty to like modify, because you can think of the latent space and the diffusion as of like a fight between the different tech and layer that you want to add. Because basically when you add controlnet, you add IP adapter, you add animate diff, you add even like LoRa or other model. If you put some model to high strength, and a lot of tech and layers have a lot of high strength, it's gonna be difficult to like combine them because they're gonna fight for like the most noise that they're gonna take. It's not really like that this works, but if you put a high control net, your style gonna be less important, and it's work like that in reverse. Like if you put high strength for the IP adapter like the style, you're gonna have less possibility to have great consistency because the control net not gonna have enough space. So make sure to adjust and tweak a lot the parameter during your creation, so you don't have like you can fix this kind of issue. So I'm gonna go with a linear with like 0.2, and with the depth, no, actually I'm gonna go with the tile like that. Okay, I think I'm great like that. Tile, okay. Tile cani. We have the animation, the animate diff set correctly, the model, the video with only 20 frames. We have also the image of IP adapter, and we're gonna have to give the weight of the IP adapter to the 2 IP adapter batch. So we're gonna do that, and we're gonna give the weight here and the inverted weight here. We're also gonna have to need an unified loader. So we're basically just gonna need to load the IP adapter model. So we're gonna load the same one here, so we don't load a lot of model. And we're gonna connect the input model with this one. Like that, linear alternate page. Okay, I think we are good to go. So if I just launch, we're gonna see. Okay, just missing one image. Okay, and so let's go. So because the process is running, I can show you something so you can better understand what is going on this workflow. So I'm gonna make some space, and I'm gonna show you the weight of the smooth between the still image, so you can see what is really the output of that. So I'm gonna use a node called float to mask by QG node. And what is do is basically just get some list of floats and transform it to mask, so you can see what is like visually what the weight represents. So like 1 represents white and 0 represents black, and so you have some value between them, and you're gonna represent that, and so it represents the weight of each image. So it's really interesting to see. I'm gonna preview that. Okay, like that. And what I can also do, I think its name, yeah, its name like that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna combine the image from the morph with the mask that we are generating from the weight, and that way we're gonna see how the image look like embedded in the weight. So we can see that the diffusion is running. Just gonna look a little at the parameters. I'm gonna reduce it a little like that. Okay. Okay. What we can also do to improve the workflow is to do an upscale pass, because the result not gonna be really great because we work with SDXL and HotShotXL, and so sometimes it can be a little flickering and not as smooth as SD 1.5. But with SDXL you have better texture and like really a great coherence with the prompt and the style. By the way, I have not put prompt in the input, so it works. But if you want to fix some issue that we have on the result, we can add the prompt. It can be strange for some people because we don't rely a lot on the prompt, because it's just that the IP adapter takes a lot of place, so we don't really need to have a really concrete prompt. But I can put basic one, like beautiful man. Can go with like all painting, brush stroke, painting, 4K high quality. Okay. Okay, and for example, what I don't like about this result is that I have some diffusion on the background, and I don't want that because it makes things like not really clean. So what I can do is use a mask on my diffusion process. So what I can do is load another video. The other video that I'm gonna load gonna be a mask of my inputs. So a mask, an alpha mask. So the white is the part that we're gonna use, and the black is the part that not gonna be used. I'm gonna remove that because otherwise I'm gonna have problem with the mask, because it's not gonna understand that we have two separate parts, because I'm just gonna give the mask to the IP adapter and not to the diffusion, because I prefer like that. So what I'm gonna do is convert the image to a mask like that, and I'm gonna feed the mask to my two IP adapter style, because this is really the IP adapter that's gonna define the style. Like the prompt is really not so much. So like that, and I'm gonna say solid color background, black background. Okay, and I'm gonna change the image input. I'm gonna use some image input that I make with AI image. That basically is image that I have made on my face. So I have trained a style, and put it like with some controlnet and some guidance from an input image of my input video. And I have put some style on it. So it's help having consistency on the results actually, because it's easier to the IP adapter to know where to put the style and the image, because we already have some similarity with the input because it's a frame from the input. So I like to use this one. And I can use some image like this one, and maybe this one, like that. Okay, and we're gonna try again with this kind of data, like that. Okay, let's go, and we're gonna see also the preview. So yeah, you can see on this one how the preview work. It's only show less than what I want. So to fix that, what I'm gonna do, no, it is now image from image 2. I don't see the morph between them. Oh, no, okay, I see the morph. It's just that the two image is really similar. So it feels like they are not like transformation between the image, but if we look closely, it's morph between the two. Like we can see the morph. So this is great. You can see in the diffusion that we have the black background. So what we wanted to. And this is great. So we're gonna do the upscale parts of the workflow. So now that we have the first diffusion, what we want is to make another diffusion, but with some upscale made to that. So for that, we're gonna do something called image scale by, and we're gonna scale the image to 1.5. We're gonna encode the image to like, I do that because I want to have the best quality possible. And if I only upscale the latent, like with some node like that, and just give the latent and connect this like that, I don't really like the result, because in that way you do the upscale part on the latent, and the latent is really compressed. So the pixel not gonna be really big. Okay, so you can see the result is far better, is way more consistent, and we see that it really stick to the mask that we sent to him. So if we look based on the image, it really like do a morph between that to that. It's really cool to see. Okay, so go back to the upscale. So for the upscale, we're gonna upscale by 1.5, and we're gonna lower the denoise to 1.55. We're gonna also load the data from the first sampler to the other one. So like that. Okay. I'm gonna the workflow that you're gonna see on the description of the video gonna be way more clean than this one, because this one I made it on the go, but I have one that is more organized and with more feature on the description. So make sure to pick this one, because this one is more for explain and demonstrate how you can make it yourself, but it can be unpractical to use it, you know. So I have all the data. I'm gonna decode the result, get the VAE, make a second video combine, like that. By the way, I'm not sure that the morph is made correctly, because we can see that we have less frame than the input. So I think it's just because I have made the frame to 10 instead of 20. And I think that's the problem, because I have to adjust this one. So we're gonna test with this one but it's not really a problem. It's just that if we want a perfect morph, we have to use the right value based on the input video. So we have the what we exactly want. Okay, so if we start another time, okay, we just miss something. So that's okay. During the running, I can show you another possibility that you can add to your workflow that I like because it makes things more fast, and it's always cool when it's fast. So I'm just gonna move this a little, so like that, make some space. What we're gonna add is a auto prompting tool. So basically, it's gonna allow us to describe our image from the style, get the description of the image of the style, and feed the style prompt in the prompt of our input. So we can have some sort of prompt that is based on the style of the reference image. So it can help just have better style because we also tell the checkpoint combined with the IP adapter what we want to see. So it can be useful to increase the style. So let's go back to it. We're gonna use a model called Florence. That is a model made by Microsoft that allow you to just have a big model that is trained on a lot of data, especially for description. So I'm gonna use the base because I don't want a too long description, but you have a lot of one. Like this one is really cool also. It's a fine-tuned model that is trained on prompt generation for endpoint 5. So it can lead really great results. And we're gonna feed, for example, one image like that. We're gonna give it a detailed captioning role. We're gonna have a text encode prompt. We're gonna connect the thing to input like that. Gonna get the clip. Okay. And now that we have the prompt on it, we're gonna have to use the prompt and not choose this prompt because if we want to use a custom prompt, we can't choose really the efficient loader. We have to have this one. So what I'm gonna do is just connecting the prompt from this one to here. So we don't choose the prompt here. But if I want to have this prompt plus the prompt from the chatbot model, we can just combine the prompt with some custom node. So I have the description here, and I have the encode of the text here. What I can do is use a node like text concatenates, and so we can have this text and the other text that we have. I'm gonna load it with a string. The other text that we have, we're gonna connect it to the text B, and we have as delimiter a commas, so that's what we want. And we're gonna connect this to the uncode prompts. So if I show the result, we're gonna see that we have this prompt. No, we want this one first. We're gonna have this prompt plus this prompt. And you have basically a lot that you can do with this kind of setup. So yeah, we have the result here. You have a lot that you can do with this setup because you can really automate everything. Like you can, for example, schedule the prompt, so like this one, and with schedule you can basically tell, oh, so at frame 0 I want this kind of style, so we're gonna get the style from this image, and because we do a morph at the frame 10, we can say that we want a description automated from this image and not this image, and we can do a lot like that. But you're gonna see on the workflow that I'm gonna put on the description, because I already made this automation. I don't want to do it like this on live, otherwise it's gonna take too much time. So yeah, so you have this. We're just gonna wait to have the final upscale so you can see. And after that, we're just gonna see how we can have the prompt. We already have the morph here. So yeah, having it to 20 work better. We have the result here. You have the mask here also that shows the result. And we're gonna see the result of the second pass upscale. Okay, so if we compare the two like this, I think, yeah, you can see that we have a better resolution on the second one. And if you want also more resolution, you can also load other things like upscale model and image upscale with model, and you can just connect this like that, and we put a video, and you're gonna have a video with more quality. So yeah, you can do a lot of things like that. But basically this workflow do a lot of things, but you're gonna have to tweak something for you to have the best result. Like for example, I think that this one is not really perfect because we have some too sharp results, so you're gonna have to adjust some settings, maybe try to reduce the controlnet, try to have a better prompt, try different image style, because it can be due to like the resolution of this one. And also what I do when I can use my computer as full power, for this one I can't because I record a tutorial. You can use the IP adapter click visual enhancer batch to replace this two one with the same parameter. Basically, it's an IP adapter that can work with better resolution because it don't have to compress the image with this thing. So it can fix a lot of things like the flickering that I see here, that's from the resolution of the style image. So it's worth to try it. And so yeah, I think it's a basic of this. You can find all the model and the custom node that I use for this video in the description. Also some reference, like some generation that I made with that. And the workflow also, everything for free. And yeah, I'm gonna make some other video on the future. This one is kind of my first, and we're gonna see how we can make that, and I'm gonna show other workflow. So if you have some feedback on it, just comment it, and I will be happy with that. So yeah, I think it's finished for me. So thanks for watching.